Tired of scrolling through a messy OneDrive layout? Switch views in seconds and find files instantly. If you have ever felt like you are fighting against the default folder view, wasting time squinting at tiny icons or scrolling past list after list, you are not alone. The good news is that OneDrive has a few different layout options built right in, and changing between them takes almost no effort at all. By the end of this video, you will go from feeling stuck with a clunky setup to having a clean, efficient view that actually works for you. So here is the plan. I am going to show you 2 quick steps to change your layout. First, we are going to find the View Options button. Then, you will pick the view that makes the most sense for your workflow. That is it. 2 clicks and you are done. Let us dive in. The first thing you want to do is open up OneDrive in your browser. I'm over on OneDrive.live.com right now, and I'm looking at a pretty standard file view. Now here is the thing a lot of people miss. The button you need is up in the top menu bar. It is not hidden in some far-off settings menu. You are looking for an icon that looks like a small grid or a set of lines, usually labeled something like Switch View Options. Just click on that button. Go ahead and give it a click right now. This is where the magic happens. When you click that button, a small drop-down menu appears. And this is where you get to choose how all of your files and folders are displayed. You've got a few options here. You can choose a compact list view, which packs a lot of files onto your screen at once. That is great if you have a ton of documents and you want to scan through them quickly. You can choose a detailed list view, which adds columns for things like the date modified and file size. That one is perfect if you are organizing by date or need to see metadata at a glance. And then there is the tiled view, which shows you larger icons. That is really helpful if you are working with image files or folders where the thumbnail preview matters. Now, you might be wondering which one you should pick. And honestly, it depends on what you were doing. I personally switch back and forth all the time. If I'm digging through old project files, I use the detailed list. But if I'm just browsing through a folder of photos, I switch to the tiled view. The beauty here is that you are not locked into one forever. You can change it as often as you need, so play around with it for a second. Click on List View and see how your files rearrange. Then click on Tiled View and notice how the thumbnails pop. Each view gives you a completely different perspective on the same set of files. And here is a practical tip I have picked up from doing this myself. If you have a folder with dozens or hundreds of files, the compact list view is usually your best bet. It minimizes scrolling and lets you see more at once. But if you are in a folder with just a handful of items, the tiled view feels much more spacious and visual. There is no wrong answer here, just whatever feels right for your eyes and your task. Now, pay attention to this one thing. When you switch the view in a folder, OneDrive remembers your choice. So if you change it in your main documents folder, it will stay that way the next time you come back. But it does not apply that same view to every single folder across your whole drive. Each folder keeps its own setting. That is actually really useful because you can set up your Downloads folder to be a compact list for scanning and your Screenshots folder to be a tiled view for browsing. It gives you that customized experience without you having to reset it every time. So let me walk through it one more time, nice and slow. Open OneDrive, click the Switch View Options button in the top bar, and then from the dropdown, pick the layout that clicks with you: List View, Detailed List, or Tiled View. That is all there is to it. You have just gone from wrestling with a default layout that was slowing you down to taking full control of your file navigation. That small change can save you a surprising amount of time and frustration each day. Thanks for hanging out with me. If this helped, give the video a thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next one.